First Down Playbook is over 35,000 plays, all drawn by NFL coaches that you can go in and edit, thus saving you plenty of time when you're creating playbooks, installations, meeting material, anything to do with football. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to take you through and show you how to get the most out of it as you begin using it. The first thing you're going to want to know about First Down Playbook is a program account is what we're on here, and that is for your whole team. You want to go to My Account, then you want to go to Your Settings, and this is where you're going to begin to set up your team, your coaches, and everybody involved with your program. Once you get there, you want to go to Teams, and you're going to see your team name right here. You'll go to the blue People button, which is where you'll begin to add on your roster as far as your coaches and your players, and this gray gear button here where you'll deal with roles and permissions. We'll go to the blue People button first, and as we open that up, you'll see that this area right here, you'll put email addresses in, let us know if it's a coaching staff or player, send that invitation, and then as that roster begins to fill out, you'll begin to have your coaches and your team in this area right here. Now, if you go to Team Profile, once again, your team name will be there. You'll let us know if you're a high school, college, or an NFL program. That will dictate the field background. Then you'll come down here and you'll designate your roles and permissions for your coaching staff and your players. You can read right here what they are. You'll go through and select one that appropriately meets the needs for your coaching staff and players. Now, you'll see where we've got browse plays checked for the players and also edit plays checked for the players, and that's because there is a testing implication that I will get to here before the end of this webinar. Now, let's get back to the football part. Once again, First Down Playbook's over 35,000 plays, and if we're going to have 35,000 plays, we've got to have it organized to where you as a coach can get to it. So the three areas you're going to know about on First Down Playbook are Find a Play, Team Playbooks, which is where you're going to organize your playbook material, and Make a Play, where you're going to be able to go in and make a play from scratch. We'll start with Find a Play, which is where you're going to go in to find the 35,000 plays that I'm describing. When you get to this area, you'll see up here, there's a First Down Playbook play area where you've got varsity offense, defense, special teams at the top, youth offense, defense, and flag at the bottom. Then you'll have another button right here called Team Plays. This is where your plays will be stored if you edit one of our plays or if you create a play from scratch. And then favorite plays are where your plays will be housed as you're going through and you star any that you like and want to come back to work on later. Let's go back to First Down Playbook plays. For the most part, a varsity coach is going to stay right up here in these three areas. We'll start with varsity offense. When you open this area up, what you're going to see is that we've got it organized in a commonsensical way to get you to what you're looking for on offense as quickly as possible. We'll go to formations first. This is just a template area to where we're asking you, what do you want to begin drawing your offensive play on? What formation? It's not a play. It's just a template of a formation in case you want to start with only part of the ingredients necessary for an offensive play. So as you can see, you're looking at multiple one-back formations here. We'll open up a 2x2. When you open this up, you're going to see that this formation is on a high school field and it's drawn up on air. If you come up here to the drop down, you'll see that you can also get this formation fitted up against a 4-3 over, under, 3-4, and a bear. At that point, you can flip it left or right. There are no coaching notes because it's a formation, not a play. But if we go over to options, you'll notice that you can share it, print it, and you can also edit that play. When you hit the edit play button in First Down Playbook, it's important to understand that that formation, that play, that defense, that special team scheme is no longer in the First Down Playbook area. It is now in your system. So we'll call this your formation. And then we'll come in and we'll add a line to one of the players. and we'll save it. At the point where we save this, we'll exit out. Now, the next time when you come back in and you're looking for plays in First Down Playbook, you have all the plays here that we offer you, but if you go up to Team Plays, you'll see where you're beginning to create your own library, and eventually you'll move those plays over into your Team Playbook area. So let's go back in. Let's find some actual plays instead of formations this time. We'll go to the run game, and you'll look at this area and find that you've got just common sense schemes in the run game, in the game of football. We'll start with option, just for the sake of this webinar. We'll ask you empty, one back or two back. We'll go one back. You'll see the different one back formations come up. We'll use flex bone for the sake of this webinar. And when we open this up, you're going to see anywhere from 3, 5, 7, 9 plays in each one of these areas. Now keep in mind, we could have gone down any of those different run game schemes and different formation types. We would have had different plays in every one of those areas. So we'll open up this inside veer option right here. And once again, you'll see that this time, instead of a formation, you've got a full-blown play drawn up. And it's drawn up against a 4-3 with an over defense, all right, and 2 high behind it. But you'll also notice the drop down, we've got it drawn up against an over, an under, a 3-4, and a bear. We'll go in and open up a 3-4 open. And once again, you can flip this play. This time, because it's a full-blown play, you've got coaching notes and player assignments for everybody on the field. Now, keep in mind that these coaching notes do come from, coaches with a lot of experience, but you can edit the coaching notes, the coaching points, just as you can edit the play. We'll come in and we'll go to options. Once again, we can share, print. We'll hit the edit button. Now this play is out of the First Down Playbook system. It's into your system. This time we'll call it your play. And we'll just come in and we'll add a line here and crack this safety. Okay, and we'll save it. Now, before I leave this area, it's really important to understand that you're working as a flex bone offense right now, and you're running this play against a 3-4 defense. And you're getting ready for your installations, for your playbooks, for your meetings, however you teach your team. That's what you're doing right now. But when you're in the edit mode with First Down Playbook, you not only can flip a play horizontally, you can also flip that play vertically. So what you could do after you save this into your offensive area, you could come right back to this same play. Come in and put your opponent's numbers in. Highlight the players that you definitely need to be aware of that week. And now what you've done is you've created your defensive scout team card at the same time you're creating your playbook information. Once again, saving you a ton of time. At the core of First Down Playbook, that's what it's all about. It's about offense, defense, special teams, but we are trying to eliminate some of the unnecessary work that you do as a football coach day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, getting ready for your opponents. So we'll save, we'll go back, flip it back here, flip it the other way, and then we'll save it. Now, I'm going to pick it up here a little bit for the sake of this webinar to keep it a little shorter. But as you come in now and you begin looking through the varsity offense, you can imagine just how much information is in that area with the run game. The passing game is every bit as detailed as the run game. We break our passing game area up into drop back, play action, sprint pass, boots and nakeds. If you go into any one of these 4 areas and you open it up, what you're going to see is the same question. Do you want to see plays out of empty, 1 back or 2 back? We'll go 1 back, then we'll open up a 2x2. And when you open this up, you're going to see just multiple plays out of a 2x2 formation, all drawn up with coaching points, player assignments, quarterback reads, the whole bit. You can see where there's just multiple pages down here at the bottom. And we'll open one of those up. And when we open it up, you'll see once again the play is drawn on a high school field. In this case right here, you can flip it, but you've got coaching points. We call it suggested quarterback reads right here. We don't know how good your tight end is or your slot, but we'll give you a middle field open, closed read, a progression read, something to get started with. And once again, you can edit the play. You can also edit the coaching points. Let's go back into the passing game. A lot of coaches like to find passing game ideas not based on formation, but concepts. If you're looking for concepts, there's a whole area devoted to that. If you're looking for vertical ideas, high-lows, quick game, crossing routes, it's all in this area right here. We also have an area devoted to red zone. We ask you the same questions. We break our red zone up into 4 distinct areas. And then within each one of those areas, we break it down by the formation type and then the formation again. You'll find 5 to 7 to 9 plays in each one of these specific red zone areas drawn up on a red zone field in that specific area with quarterback reads and everything you need for that part of the passing game. We also have a coverage beater section, best plays to beat man free, cover 2, strong roll zone, quarters, and quarter halves. We have a route tree area. We do our route trees a little different. The first down playbook, we have an outside receiver, slot receiver, tight end, and running back route tree. And if you open up any one of these route trees, you're going to see a 0 through 9 explanation of the routes we use in first down playbook. Now that's just the passing game. Guys, if you get into the other areas of first down playbook, protections are drawn up just like the run game. And I'm going to go really fast here. You'll have an opportunity to look at this as you begin using first down playbook, but you're going to see protections. There'll be man protections, play action protections, slide, turn, quick game. But as you open up each one of these areas, the important thing to note is that the same detail that went into the run game is in your passing game area. So if you want to see this versus a 3-4, there it is. You can flip it. You've got protection rules and everything written in that, once again, you can edit or keep. That's entirely up to you. Now, we don't have enough time to go into each one of these areas, but we have a short yardage and goal line area with a lot of 23, 32 personnel, a lot of heavy and a lot of unbalanced ideas in here. You know, unbalanced is making a big-time comeback in football, even at the NFL level. A section devoted to RPOs, which you can imagine is extensive. We've got screens that are drawn up exactly like the protections I just showed you and the run games, meaning that we've got the offensive line included into the screen area because they're an integral part of it. We've got 6, 8, and 9-man football being produced right now. We also have a specials area that I'm going to take you in and show you really quickly here. That's because we have our trick pass plays and our trick run plays in this area. We're partners with Friday Night Football coaches and also USA Football. And I want to take you in here and just show you something really quickly, but it's really important too. In 2019, we did a thing called All 22 Tuesday, all right? And as you can see right here, we opened it up. We drew up all 22 players on an offensive scheme or a defensive scheme or special team scheme, and we did it for 24 straight weeks. But the reason I've got you in here is I want to show you, this is week 14 when Alabama played LSU. And if you open this up, this play right here, what you're going to see is that you've got a well-drawn play with all 22 players and what they did on the snap. But if you go to notes, you'll notice that there is a YouTube video that has been integrated with the play and the coaching notes right here. We built this drawing tool, and it's a $500,000 drawing tool that we understood once we gave you the ability to edit these plays. The next thing that you were going to ask for was the ability to integrate with video. We have the ability right now, technology-wise, to integrate with Huddle, DV Sport, Exos, really anyone. We do not have an agreement right now, but at some point we will. And we don't want to go ahead and do anything where they would reverse engineer the code and screw everybody up the next day. So as we work through this, we just want to let you know a couple things. One is that you can integrate a YouTube video by putting the embed code in here. We have also created a download button where you can download our plays, all right, to your desktop, to your folder, and drop those into Huddle if that's what you choose to do. And then we have just released an API, which is something that will allow us to, down the road, integrate with a video company. The important thing is to understand, we realize that you want to teach in the best way possible, and that is having a play drawing, your video, and your coaching points all in one place. And we're working hard to get you there. If you have questions about that, feel free to ask us at the point where we're at the end of this video. Okay, now let's go. The defense is every bit as detailed as the offense. As you open it up, remember, guys, the thing we're trying to do is save you time and get you to something very close to what you're looking for. I understand that there's a lot of different ways to call defenses. There's a 3-3-5, a 3-2-6, a 4-2 nickel, a 4-3 nickel, 4-2-5. But football is pretty much football. You're going to have a 4-down look. We give you an over, and we also give you an under. Over 3 technique strong, under shade 5-9 strong. A 3-4, all right, where you're going to create the 4-man rush with the Mike or the Sam. A 3-4 weak, where you create it with the Will and the Jack. We give you a bear, where you've got the center and 2 guards covered. We're working on the tight front with the 4 eyes, and we expect that to be out for the 2020 football season. But as you go in here, the important thing is to try to find something close to what you do. And what I'll promise you is this. I'll use this, and if you draw up your own defense, I'll do it in 25% of the time it takes you, because we've already done 75% of the work in here. So the next thing we want to know after you choose your front is what coverage do you want to play with it? Man free, cover 2, strong roll zone, quarters, or quarter halves. We'll choose quarters. And as you get in here, we ask you the same question. What formation do you want to fit that defense up against? We'll go one back because there are more one back formations than the others here. And you're going to see as it loads up, you're going to have anywhere from 12 to 15 different formations that we've already done the work for you. Taking this 4-3 over front with quarters behind it, and we fitted it up. So we're going to open it up. Once again, you've got a well-drawn play that you can flip, well-drawn defense, I should say. You've got coaching points, defensive assignments for everybody on the field, motion adjustments. And if you come in here, once again, we can share, print, download, or edit that play. So we'll edit this defense. Let's do a little something to it. We'll just bring this Sam off the edge right here. Drop this end out. And we'll save it. Once again, that'll be saved over in your team play area, just like the offensive plays where we were working with before. So let's exit out of here. And guys, this is what, when you're on a free trial with First Down Playbook, that's what it's for. Get in here and understand all the different defenses that are in there. There is a ton of information in here, all right, that can save you a ton of time. And we want to make sure that you understand what's in here as you use it. We also have a spread beater section where we visited with SEC coaches several years ago about how they defend spread offenses. Short yards and goal line, just like in the offensive area. We have a pressures area where we asked you, do you want to play base or sub? Do you want to play a 4-man front or a 3-man front? Do you want to play man behind it or zone? And then when we get you to this area, guys, all right, there are over 57 different pressures in here. But when you open it up, we don't just fit that pressure up against one formation. We fit it up against 5 different formations, a 2x2, 3x1, 2-back, bunch, and empty. We'll open that up, and then you're going to see that we also give you tight end trade and motion adjustments. All right? First Down Playbook is a little bit like a year-round clinic for your coaches. There are a lot of different ways of doing things in football. For instance, F motion right here, the nickel. One defense coordinator might run the nickel, another might balance up with the backers, another might rock and roll the safeties. But it's always good to have a resource where you can come in and look and see how another coach is doing it But at the end of the day, we also give you the chalk back last. You coach your football team the way you want to coach it. Now, guys, the most detailed thing about First Down Playbook is special teams. And that's the area where most staffs are the most delinquent and need the most help. All right, so we've got 8 phases here in First Down Playbook. All right, the reason we have 8 phases, we have NFL coaches, so we have spread punt and we have shield punt. We also have to defend spread punt and shield punt. We also have a specials area for fakes, trick plays, and that type of thing. But let's just go and open up the kickoff return area. Once again, the mission with First Down Playbook, guys, is to get you to something close to where you don't have to start from scratch. So we're opening up the 6 up with the kickoff return here. Now, guys, there's a lot of different rules, a lot of different ways of doing things out there with special teams, particularly when you're First Down Playbook and you are catering to coaches all the way up through middle school, through college, NFL, and even the XFL previously this year before they ended up closing down. So we'll open up a play, and what you're going to see, other than the fact that you just saw just how much help and information is in this area, and I'm going to shrink my screen up here so you can see it, is that you've got a play drawn on a field, a long field with the end zone in behind, and that's important when you're working with big field plays to where you need landmarks to make it time up right. But you've got your hash marks, your numbers, your end zone, all of that, so that you can come in and you can flip that play, run it left or right. You've got coaching points, right, for the right return and for the left return. And obviously you can edit this play. I'm going to back out here. I just want to show you one other thing. Once again, this is just an area for you to get in during your free trial and see what all is in here. There's a ton of information, once again, that can help you and your staff and your football team. We also have a technique area in every one of our special teams phases. This is just an area where you can go in and maybe you read that we're talking about a look-off technique and you've never used that terminology before. You can come in and take a look and see exactly what we're talking about. Okay, now if we're going to have an area, guys, where we keep ourselves organized, we've got to give you an area to do the same thing. And that's what the team playbook area is. You've been putting your plays up in that team play area I've showed you. But at some point, you want to organize yourself down here. The first thing I would do if I were a varsity coach is I would come in and create an offensive playbook, a defensive playbook, and a special teams playbook. The reason I would do that is these 3 buttons right here, all right, that you're going to see on any playbook that you create, gives you the permissions and the ability to, you can rename it, you can delete it, you can share, print. But if you come in, you can also manage who sees that playbook. So that roster that we showed you how to create at the very beginning of this webinar, all right, as you begin to create that, we're going to ask you, who do you want to see that offensive playbook? Just you, only your coaching staff, just your players, everyone, or specific people? Obviously, with specific people, you would come in and you would check your offensive coaches and your offensive players. You would confirm that. And now what you're doing, coaches, is you're not only organizing yourself here, but you're keeping your offense, your defense, and your special teams coaches out of each other's way. You don't have your defensive line coach over here drawing a tech stunt right next to where your quarterback's trying to draw 4 verticals. It gives you organization so that, once again, on a day in and day out basis, all right, you're able to work more efficiently. Let's go in and open the offensive side just to see some ways that coaches use First Down Playbook in 2019. One of the ways, pretty commonsensical once again, is once you got inside the offense defense, you created an area for each one of the position coaches. Now, who do you want the quarterback coach to talk to? Just the quarterbacks or the quarterbacks and the receivers? Entirely up to you. You control that with these 3 buttons right here. Now, I'm going to open up the offensive line section just to come back to a point I made at the very beginning of the webinar, to where you can see that this offensive line coach has got 9-on-7 cards, run game protections. We're going to open up an area right here where he's got playbooks created for his offensive linemen. Now, he's got an individual playbook created for each one of his offensive linemen. And you might say, why would he do that as opposed to creating one playbook and having them all come in to look at it? Well, the reason is this. If he comes into that week and he creates a playbook, makes duplicates of it, puts it in for his 5 offensive linemen. As he gets going to the middle of the end of the week, he can come into the same area and he can give John Johnson, the right guard, Dave Williams, the center, Kevin Sinclair, the right tackle. He can create a playbook and take out the blocking assignments and have them go in and actually draw in their assignments so that it's a built-in test so he can actually see what they know and what they do not. And this is a much more efficient way of testing your players than looking at how much video they may or may not have watched. And so there's a lot more to this, too much to talk about in this short webinar, but this is something that a lot of coaches are very interested in, is really being able to, check the accountability of their players and what they're learning out of the playbook section. Now, this April 2nd install up here, guys, we've been dealing with a lot of strange things this past spring with COVID-19. We have coaches that haven't seen their players in 4 or 5 weeks and may not see them for a couple more months. We have coaches who are installing with their players from the coach's home to the player's home in a secure manner, and they're doing it using these 3 dots right here, whether it's the head coach, coordinator, position coach, but we have been working on a daily basis during the week helping coaches get that done. And if you have more questions about that, please let us know. Okay, let's go back and see some of the other areas and how coaches are using First Down Playbook in the playbook area. We'll open up the offensive area again. Another way that almost everybody uses it is they create weekly game plans, weekly installations, to where you're coming in and you're putting in all 11 opponents, maybe just the first 4 and adding to it. But you're dragging and dropping things from week 1 to week 2, and you're not losing the work that you do, whether it's a card or an installation or playbooks or 9-on-7 drill, whatever you do. Guys, we need to be more efficient as coaches and quit redoing our work over and over again because we can't find it, or it's out in the rain and we can't get it. We only have one way that we drew it up. This right here allows you to not reinvent the wheel day after day, week after week, and month after month. And then at the end of the season, you just archive it down here. And now if I'm playing Washington High School this week, I've got my game plan for that current year. But if I need to go back and look at what we did in 2019, it lives right there. And you can keep doing that year in and year out. All your material stays right here, making you much more efficient. Okay, some of the other ways, I know a lot of head coaches, all right, are looking at this right now. We have a way to put not only your whole staff and your whole team on First Down Playbook, but you can also include your feeder programs. In this situation right here with 3 feeder programs, all right from your desk using these 3 buttons, you can share your information with these 3 feeder coaches, and you actually make it harder for them to do something different than what you do, than to do what you do. You've got the advantage of having kids walking into your building, not only using the same terminology as what you have, but you've also got them walking in there having learned off the same drawings because you essentially have done the work. And you wouldn't share your whole game plan or your whole playbook with them because at a developmental level, they're not ready yet. But you could share a portion of it, and that is a big-time advantage, having kids, once again, walk into your building that have already been in your system with your playbook. Now, let's take a look at a sample defensive practice card area here. This is like a scout team area. You'll see where we got 10 to 12 cards loaded up right here. I just want to quickly show you, that you drag and drop, put them in the right order that you want. You come in, you go to print, and you're going to go landscape because this is an offensive or defensive play, and you would go portrait for the long special teams plays that I showed you earlier. But we'll go landscape. You won't take the coaching points to the field. Launch a print dialog, and you're going to notice that there's a table of contents that's quickly going to become a script up here, a smart script, 3rd and 3, left hash, minus 33-yard line, all the things that we know as coaches. But already you can see where it's married. You've got 1 through 12. You've got the number in the upper left-hand corner of the card, the offense and the defense at the top of that card that you can print out or take to the field on a device either way. But what's important, once again, is you don't quit. You don't have to keep losing your work that you do. And finally, to finish this webinar off, I want to go to where you make your own play. Now keep in mind, guys, that this is a $500,000 drawing tool, and everything about it is designed for football coaches, not for soccer, not for lacrosse, not for basketball. So every question we ask you is going to be a football question. So we'll name this Make My Play, and we'll ask you, do you want to see this on a short field, blank canvas for a drill, midfield, red zone going in, backed up coming out, a long field for special teams, blank canvas, punt, punt return, kickoff going in, or kickoff return coming out. We'll take a short field, midfield, save it and make a play, and you're going to see just how easy it is to use First Down Playbooks compared to what you're currently using. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and put a line of scrimmage in, and I'm going to start adding players. So as I get my players out on the field, you'll see that that blue line is helping me get everybody lined up. I can grab all of them or some of them, and I'll start creating a formation here. As I do that, what you're going to see is you're going to see that there's also a green line that's helping me get the players lined up as I create my formation here. Okay, so we'll duplicate that player right there and make a defensive player. And once again, everything about this, all the questions, all the functionality is about drawing a football play. Things that you come across as you're creating playbooks, installations, and such. So we'll take the line of scrimmage out, and just want you to know that as you begin to create your play, you can put your players' numbers in, 1 to 99. You could put your initials in, A to Z, Z to A, any combination. If you want your label to be black, there it is. If you want it to be white, you just come in, you'll put color behind it so that obviously the players can see it. You can mix and match your colors. If you're an option team and you have your give key, your pitch key, your read keys, all the type of things, once again, that are involved with drawing a football play. Now, we'll also go in, show you where you can zoom in, and you've got your techniques. I've got a 3 technique, 2, 2i. If I want my players to be thicker, if I want them to be thinner, got motion, all the things that you run across as you're creating playbooks, plays, cards, or whatever. Now, to add a line to First Down Playbook, you pick a player, and then you add a line, and you'll notice that that line is part of that player. You don't have to do that. We do it for you. Now you can extend that line, shorten that line. You have 360-degree range of motion with that line. And then it's the same thing if I'm working with a curved line. The curved line, I've got the end point, 360. I've got a connector, slides up and down. And guys, it's just all part of making you a better drawer with less effort, less time, and you're actually drawing something that your players are going to want to look at. You can make the lines to be the same color as the player. Now, lines never intersect. In this case right here, you've got the green line in front. If I wanted the tight end to be in front, I'd go up here and do that. Now, it's always easy to show your drawing tool with pass plays. We're going to go in and show it right here with the run game because that's the guys that have the tedious job of the offensive line coach, defensive line coach, linebacker coach as they begin to draw their run blocking, pass pro, stunts, and whatnot. So we've given you an arrow and a ball. We also gave you a base block, a reach block, and a cutoff block. And so with each one of these, if you add another line, you've got that same 360-degree range of motion. So if I'm trying to draw a cutoff block on a 2i, I can easily do that. And I'm not even use the curved line functionality right there. If I'm trying to draw a pass pro against a wide 3 technique or a 4i, and I want him to keep his shoulder square, just much easier to do, less tedious than it is with what you're using right now. Now, Most coaches want to put text on their drawings. So you just go to the text box, type in what you want your message to be, add it, move it to where you want it to be. You can go small, medium, large, bold, italics, underline, whatever color you want the text to be and whatever background you want it to be. And just move it to wherever you want it to be on the drawing to talk to that particular player. Now, finally, this is a play that's drawn from scratch, so there are no coaching notes in here. So there's 3 different views you can type your coaching notes in. This view here, where it's 3/4 for the drawing, 1/4 for your notes. A full screen, where it's just you typing in your notes, or a half screen. And that's the one I like to use, where it's half for the play, half for the notes. So I add a section right here, and I'm going to come in, and I will just begin to type in my notes. And now I'll save this. And at the point where I save it, now it's saved in the same area that the plays are where I edited the ones previously. Now, let's finish this thing up here, and let's go to the team playbook area. And I'm going to show you how to get your plays from the team play area to the team playbook area. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to add a new playbook. Okay, I'm going to add it. It's going to show up down at the bottom. I'm going to open it up. And now I could add subfolders if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go in and add plays. And I could add first down playbook plays, but if we go in here, you're going to see plays that we have created. Today, and we'll add those. And now, this is when I'll begin to drag and drop, organize everything in my playbook area. At some point, guys, most of your work is going to take place here in the team playbook area. This is where you're going to work with your program, your staff, and your team. This is where you're going to manage your playbooks. You'll always have our information here as a resource, but you'll have the beauty of having the chalk in your hands last as you begin to work with your program.